And like I mentioned here at the beginning, you guys had the Underclass showcase yesterday, and you guys were up there for that. Sounds like it was a pretty good event. I don't know if you guys want to talk through some players that you saw, just kind of before we get some of this post event content out.
Tyler, can I steal my 2029? All right, because there were a lot of guys to mention, plenty of guys to call out. One guy I did not know before the event was Mason Nashif. He's a 2029 at Burlington Central infielder, and what I loved about it was he's a freshman and probably had a very similar body type to like what I had as a freshman. He is undersized, so far away from where he's going to eventually be one day. But man, can he get the bat going? Like those undersized guys that aren't physically mature yet, that can swing the bat with some whip and some bat speed and some thump off the barrel. Like that just tells me it's only going to get even more electric as he gets older. And it wasn't like over swinging. It was on time, on the barrel, like really good barrel feel, and launching balls to the gaps. Love the presence in the box as well. And then you watch him float around the infield, and it's like, man, this kid has a chance. Really rangy, could play on the move, had some body control, turn the double play like with some fluidity. Really liked the showing for Mason Nashif. That's the one guy I want to call out to start it off.
No, I love that shout out. I watching him hit, it was like this kid doesn't really look like a freshman just in the box, like just kind of the moxie I felt like he was giving off, but two guys I want to shout out, both are Marian Catholic guys. This was a team I was pretty bullish on after I saw them this past spring. Super young team last year. They were like all freshmen and sophomores. And a pair of those freshmen who are now sophomores were at this event in Bronx DeBerg and Lacey Rogers Jr. Drew, I was fired up after Bronx's round. I came right up to you because this was a kid who's starting at shortstop as a freshman for Marian Catholic this past spring, and I really liked it on the infield. When I saw it in game, I felt like the bat had a little bit of ways to go, but then watching him here, I was like so excited because I felt like the way he was handling the bat, I felt like it was a very mature round of BP. He wasn't, again, another guy who wasn't over swinging. It was just line drives, line drives. And then Lacey Rogers Jr., that kid's got some juice off the bat. I don't have his exact numbers right in front of me right now, but just some of the balls that were coming off his bat, it was like, whoa. So just two guys, man. Marian Catholic, for me, looking ahead to this spring, that's a team to watch.
Yeah, well, and then you factor in Jazaris Mackmore that they have over there. It's exciting, these young players coming through a program that will be follows, whether it's future game follows or Illinois State game follows, who knows? But man, they've got some young guys to be excited about. You mentioned Bronx, like I thought it was super compact and repeatable, really balanced. And was a big fan of the hit, just the hit tool in general. And then Lacey, what I loved about him was in between, getting a showcase setting, you get these pitches down the middle. Guys can kind of swing, not get set, rush a little bit. Like he slowed it down in the box and was like, there was a very intentful approach to his round of BP where every single swing he was making sure his setup was exactly the way he wanted it. And he's going to launch some balls. Because when he got that pitch in the sweet spot that he was looking for, like it was loud and it was into the pull side gap. And I right there with you, Lacey was definitely a standout for me as well. I want to shout out another guy because we saw him in the fall up at the Rock. I saw the tweet. I think I shouted around to the guys. Just like man, that swing was really interesting, and I really liked the body type and the way he ran out of the box. And it was Jacob Height at St. Lawrence. Um, he took one of the most professional, polished rounds of BP for me at that event. Like it was super easy. The bat is really level through the zone. He's probably 6'1", 170. At least I need to pull up the profile to look, which I have right here, so I might as well do it. Um, if my computer would load, that would help. But the body type looks right, and like there's gonna be way more strength to come. It's kind of a wide shouldered, high waisted frame, but it was easy. It was backspin to both gaps, and really like I just think it's a big time hit tool. I think there's going to be some power that he's going to tap into. He ran a 7.10 at the event, and then you look and you break down the numbers. Like he averaged 90.4 off the bat during his round. I think he launched one 340 plus as far as his max distance is concerned. And then Pete, I think you liked him on the mound as well.
Yeah, I absolutely loved him on the mound. He's a really, really good mover, clean mover with a quick arm. Really stood out just without even looking at the track, man. I was in. But it was 3 pitches for strikes, like very polished, and he was up to 82. Really, really eye-opening day for me with him on the mound. And I know a lot of these guys I have were like two-way guys. So I don't know. Do you want me to just like riff on a few and we'll see if we line up with anybody? Or are you
Well,
gonna...
I love the call out because the guy I wanted to mention is Jenner Smith from Hershey. We currently have him in the rankings. He continues to show better. Like I don't know if he just keeps growing, but the frame stands out every time I see him. And he hit right before Jacob Height. And I really liked Jenner Smith's round. And I think that's what spoke so much to me about Jacob Height was his round was just as good. And they were two of the better rounds of the day. But man, Jenner Smith, same kind of ease that Jacob gets. Like the ball jumps off the bat. It's electric hands. And really liked it on the mound. I saw him warming up over on your mound, and it's clean, and it looks like there's a ton to dream on there.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, he's like 6'2", 170, but could even be taller than that now, and I'm sure he's going to continue to get taller. But yeah, really easy to like the way that kid moves down the mound. Like you can project on a lot more velo to come there. And he was up to 84.5, which was a PB for him. So to be PBing in the fall at an event in front of us is really cool. I always loved that. But sticking with a teammate of him that I know you guys liked at the plate as well, JD Farkas. He's a rock tournament all-star. Like he's always shown well for us. But he's extremely polished with 4 pitches, all in the zone, all have good action, and he's up to 84 as well from the left side, and he's just a proven in-game performer. Big fan of that kid. I know he was one of the kids that we'd mentioned. Like the rankings went to 50, he's probably 51, and he could easily be in the rankings. Like it's just the back end of those rankings are tough, but we are definitely very high on JD Farkas.
And I'll say this after his showing on Sunday, like it's going to be hard to keep him out of the rankings.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think you spoke like about how much he's performed in game, and it's so easy to see. It is a super simple setup. It is a highly repeatable swing. Once again, kind of like Jacob Height, like backspinning balls to both gaps. He was hitting it where it was pitched. Like it was not a pull heavy approach. Let the ball travel, like very mature. Huge fan. And you want to like Hershey's another school. Like you got two 2028s like that, you better believe we're going to be out to see those guys in the spring and see what they're doing and the progress that they're making coming off this event in the winter.
Well, real quick, Drew, you or him it maybe earlier, like just kind of talking about like the follows we're gonna have from this event. I feel like looking ahead to preseason All-State this winter, like so many of these guys that were at this event yesterday, like they're a bunch of these guys are probably gonna get invites to All-State. Like just again, super excited coming off that event yesterday. Like it was so good, I thought, and just really looking forward to preseason All-State now with this group.
Well, and I'm gonna get in here because I couldn't agree more. Like these guys earned invites just with what they did, and I think it's like a lot of them made very easy decisions for us. Sam Steele, like Naperville North, I'm an alum from there. You'll have to research what year because it'll date me way too much. But no, Sam Steele's a guy that we've heard a lot on, just like kind of rumblings on him. I hadn't really had an in-person look, but he averaged 93.3 off the bat. Ran a sub 7. Like there's tools there. It was loud coming off the bat too with pretty easy hand speed. Really like Sam Steele and what he brings to the table. Naperville North coming off a big football win too that got me fired up, beating Lincoln Way East. I think the tweet that I saw was like gave Lincoln Way East maybe their first loss in the regular season in the last 4 years or something, which, man, shout out Lincoln Way East. They got a juggernaut going on over there as a football program, it seems like. But yeah, Sam Steele, one of the guys that I thought showed the best on Sunday, or at least really made a loud impression, I guess I should say.
speaking of Lincoln Way East, I got a guy that I came away really liking, and I know you guys mentioned you liked him too with the bat, but Keegan Crabtree, 2028, 6'1", 155. Just really liked the way, just another common theme, loved the way he moved down the mound. The frame looks right, and he was up to 82. Then I saw him, he had stayed late to catch some pops down the second from those catchers, so always love to see that, and the actions looked pretty good from what I saw briefly.
I love that, Pete, because that was something I was going to mention, was like a lot of these infielders, they took infield defense before the catchers, before the first baseman, and there were like 6 guys that wanted to hang out and help turn double plays with the first baseman, catch pops, and that just shows me they loved being there, and like they weren't in a rush to get out. Like there was a Bears game they were probably trying to get to watch and all that stuff. So Keegan Crabtree though, like really stood out to me turning the double plays, and I try to tell these kids like, man, we watch everything. Like we watch the way you stretch. We watched the way you warm up and play catch, but the way he was turning double plays with the first baseman, I almost was like, hey, Keegan, we need you to like take a breath, like, and let the first baseman get back to the bag, because it was game speed and he was putting something on the throw and it was a quick release and I loved it. Like he took it serious and it was game speed. And man, for a 2028 to have the actions he has, the arm strength that he has across the diamond. We mentioned Lincoln Way East 2027 class a ton. Like that's a 2028 that's right behind them that I think is just going to be a guy to follow here. Pretty strong follow moving forward.
I still got like 5 guys to talk about.
Let's go.
But yeah, let's go with Blake Harris right now from El Paso Gridley. So he made the trip like an hour and a half on a Sunday. 6'6", 209. It was absolutely electric. He's up to 88, which is a tie, I believe a tie for the PB for him. But man, does that fastball come out good and does it look right on the mound? Like, he is intimidating. He is right at you. He's a good mover, especially for the size. And the curveball flashed like really good shape and really good action. So he's one that we for sure need to keep close tabs on moving forward. And I know he was a two-way too, I believe, right? I saw him over at first base. So I'm not sure how he did over there.
No,
but
state gamer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super loud on the mound. So pump for Blake Harris and El Paso Gridley, like that fires me up. One of my favorite arms I've scouted since doing this, Nathan Lavender, who ended up going to Illinois. I think he was hurt this past year, but he's made some waves in the minor leagues. He's another El Paso Gridley grad. So I don't know what they got going down there, but I love it, and I love the Central Illinois small town guy that's got just a ton more to tap into.
Totally. My last 2028 that I have is Colton Carpenter from Normal U High. Just a really clean, polished pen from him. It's 4 pitches with a really clean arm. He was up to 80 miles an hour. So, I mean, just one to follow. I mean, Normal U High, they got talent rolling through there, so he'll be a nice addition moving forward and a nice young arm to watch for them. But 2029s that I wanted to mention really quick. Ben McNair, brother of Sean McNair, who's going to Lafayette, a really talented southpaw. But he had a really impressive pen. He was up to 81 miles an hour. He's an athletic mover. And he showed really good feel to spin a curveball that looks like a potential outpitch for him. So he'll be one to watch. And then Ben Sutphin from New Trier. Really like the mover. Again, common theme. But natural cut on the fastball. Came out really good with it was like a true cutter. And I don't know if he was trying to do it or not, but it was up to 81 miles an hour. And a promising curveball that I think should continue to get better and be a nice addition to him, to his arsenal.
I got a 2029 here that, man, if you look at the stat sheet, like he's so far from like where his tools will be, the exit velo, that sort of thing. But Dylan Ryan from Jacobs was a left-handed hitter that I could not have loved like the setup and the presence in the box anymore. And then the way the swing worked, like he's going to be a top of the order 9-hole type guy for Jacobs, down the road, or at least that's kind of where I envision the swing type and the type of hitter he is. But I loved it. Like he was on the barrel on time. And I just think that's a guy that in my own, like I'm going to follow him because as he grows and gets stronger, like with the barrel feel that he has, with the presence in the box, the way the swing works, like that's going to be a hitter that I think is going to have a chance down the road. We could keep going on and on because I thought every left-handed hitter there was very intriguing, Tyler. And just like we said, to kind of start the show off, like just a great way to cap the year. And it was really enjoyable watching these guys like kind of put on a show.